Gather around, fine people, as I tell you the story of the last car of its kind. At least for now. With the discontinuation of the Chrysler 300 and Lincoln going all in on SUVs, the Cadillac CT5 is the last American midsize luxury sedan you can get with an internal combustion engine. And it has four. Well, not at the same time. It's available with a 237 horsepower turbocharged four-cylinder, a 335 horsepower turbocharged V6, and a 668 horsepower supercharged V8. But this CT5-V model comes with a 360 horsepower version of the V6 and is very much the model of a luxury sports sedan. 2024 marks the 20th anniversary of Cadillac's high-performance V Series, which actually started with the CT5's predecessor, the first-generation CTS. Along with the engine, which also has 405 pound-feet of torque, this gets a host of sports car goodies, including a magnetic ride control active suspension system, a limited slip rear differential, and GM's vaunted performance traction management system, which does a very good job of getting the power to the wheels. And the CT5-V is available with either rear-wheel drive for about 52 grand or all-wheel drive like this one has for around 54 grand. Despite its fastback styling, this is very much a sedan with a trunk, although at less than 12 cubic feet, it's not a very big one by one very important classic Cadillac metric. Since I'm in New Jersey today, I think you know what I'm talking about. Which brings us to New Jersey's own Caffeina caffeinated water, sponsor of the Caffeina cup and bottle holder count. Caffeina, it's like bada bing in a bottle. The CT5-V has your standard 2 cup holders in the rear center armrest and bottle slots in all 4 doors. But up here, it has 2 concealed cup holders in the center console, which is very elegant. It is a luxury car after all. Caffeina! Buy it on Amazon using the link in the description below. The rest of the interior is equally fancy and dressed up in nice leather and carbon fiber trim, especially if you load it up like this one is at a price of around 65 grand. The seats are very sporty, but also have a massage function in keeping with this car's luxury sports sedan vibe. And while the dashboard has dual digital displays now, for 2025 it's getting 33 inches of screen within one frame, although they are keeping all the buttons and knobs that this one has, which I really like a lot. The CT5-V doesn't have rear massaging seats, but it does have quite a bit of legroom for a mid-size sedan and does very well on my 6'1" scooch test, where I see if I can fit behind myself with the front seat set how I like it when I'm driving. And this is definitely a car for driving. It might not be obvious from looking at it, but the CT5 is built on a supersized version of the same platform that's used for the Chevrolet Camaro. It has a low road-hugging stance and seating position. Getting into this from an SUV is like going from a bar stool to a dentist chair. But you feel no pain in here. As in all General Motors products that use it, the magnetic ride control suspension is absolutely magical. The way it shifts from luxury to handling and back to luxury in the blink of an eye is Nobel Prize worthy stuff. I haven't had the chance to drive this car on a track, but it feels like the kind of car you might actually do that with. It even has a track mode that firms up the suspension and makes the transmission, throttle, and even the brakes more aggressive. And there's a configurable V mode you can activate by pressing a button on the steering wheel that lets you adjust all of those attributes to your liking. I don't really like to use the word satisfying to describe cars. It's kind of silly, but that's exactly what this is. It's whatever you want it to be, whenever you want it to be. And all the way across the price range, it feels like a value against the import models it competes against, whether you're talking about comfort, performance, or technology. This has Cadillac's Super Cruise hands-free highway driving feature that doesn't just do lane centering adaptive cruise control on its own, but if you come upon a slower vehicle in front of you, it will initiate a lane change to pass it all by itself. And you can do that by hitting the turn signal, but you don't have to if you don't want to. It's also quite a good driver when you get into the turns. Even on rough surfaces, you can actually feel it working the wheel to keep the car under control. Will this really be the last mid-size American luxury sedan with an internal combustion engine? Nobody knows for sure, and it's possible that Chrysler could show up in 2025 with something new, but for now, it very much is. And it only gets 21 miles per gallon combined, so maybe Cadillac's plan to go all electric by the end of the decade isn't the worst idea.